Evening, everyone. It's Chaz, West Ham Irons channel, transfer news. Someone thinking of buying the club. What was the other thing? And an old boy looking to leave. But Tony, you're bloody quick, mate. How you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Hope your evening's gone good and your work's good. Oh, I hate these winter, early gets dark so early, miserable, raining every single day. Don't feel like getting up, no energy. Oh, yeah. But then we had such a really hot summer as well, didn't we? So I don't know if this is the future of really wet winters and really hot summers. I don't know, but I hope you guys are doing well. So I'm just going to give it 5-6 minutes for people to join in the chat. But basically, we're going to kick off and talk about, Moroccan striker Yusuf and Nesyri. And as you know, he has been linked with us before, so it's no surprise. And it could be lazy journalism, or perhaps we're just, if that's all our scouts can conjure up, a player who, the more I've looked at him, the less I've been impressed with him. He's nothing to be excited about. If I have a look at, should we have a look at his record sort of last couple of years? I saw him in the flesh as well. Sevilla, he really didn't do much. So let's have a look at all the seasons. Let's check him out. So he is basically 25 years old, centre forward, Morocco, 57 caps, 17 goals. So that's not too bad. And obviously, he helped Morocco get to the later stages of the World Cup. And I'm surprised he's only 25. So he's been around a while. So he hasn't scored in the league this season out of 12 games. And then he's got 5 goals last season. So 5 in 35. That's not very prolific. Champions League experience, got 2 in 4, and then a couple or 3 in the cup. 2021, that's probably the season we were looking at him. 2021, a couple of years ago, 18 goals in 38. So that's kind of a bit more like it. He's fairly tall. He can probably play up front by himself, but I'm not too sure about him. And looks like we're playing skint. We were looking to do a loan deal and then look at buying him. And apparently, why would the club be so willingly? Apparently the club's happy to take the offer, 25 million euros on loan, take the wages off, and then get rid of him. Whereas he's playing hardball, apparently, doesn't want to come. So I don't know who you want to believe. Why would he turn down double wages? Usually there's clauses in there that if we went down, he would be released anyway. Why would he want to continue playing for Sevilla? I don't know. Contract expires 2025. Listen, we do need 2 free strikers, as I always said, so that's fine. But I rather concentrate on getting a good few players from our own league or someone who's got experience with the Premier League. I'm just worried that we're buying too many from other leagues, and as you can see, settling in can become an issue. But age-wise, it's fine. I like the idea. Some people have put their formations together where they're thinking that he's going to play up front with Scamacca. I don't think that's going to work. I think they're quite similar. I'm not too sure about that. And I don't think this guy plays on the wing either. Don't think he's that pacey. He's just all right. I think 7 out of 10, shall I say? Yeah. He's all right, but I'm just worried that the Premier League might be a bit too much for him. I don't know. I prefer, obviously, Thuram, isn't it? The French guy, but he's going to come at 30 million, which is, again, not too far from what we're thinking about this guy. I think that guy looks more solid, more stronger, more physical for the league. So I don't know. But, there's so many things to talk about in this show, but what I'm going to do, it's a complete blank canvas out there. So I'm going to go through the chat, and then through the chat, we'll talk about what you guys want to talk about, really. So let me just put that to one thing for meaning. Let's see what's going on. It's Jonathan Wood. The breaking news was that we've gone in for him. We've made a bid, some kind of financial package, and it's been agreed with the club. So that was the news. Whether he turns us down sort of 2 years ago, last year, and again today. And we're going to keep knocking on the door. I don't know. But I wanted to more talk about whether we should have gone in for him or not. And I'd rather tie up the Blackburn lad, I'd rather tie him up. His contract's up in the summer. He doesn't want to leave Blackburn, but I thought you get a deal in place, where you loan him back to Blackburn for the rest of the season, but tie him in. And I like him. I've seen him. I saw him in the cup game, and he's a bit of a presence on the pitch. He's a busybody. Yeah, I like him. Not sure about this guy. I'm not sure. Again, surprising. I know it doesn't always matter, but when you've got Agard playing for us, a fellow teammate, well, I don't know what he's told him about West Ham. He might be saying, shit, I've made a mistake myself coming in, mate. I don't know, but what I do know is, right, no one's going to sign for David Moyes. Someone like this guy, international, and seen and read what we've been up to, no one of great value or half a brain in their brain cells is going to sign for West Ham. I'll tell you that now. That's what they're saying, but I hope you're doing well, Matt. I hope you're doing well. Bit odd when the club especially, see, once the club have said we want you to go, we've agreed a deal. It's very odd, isn't it, when you want to stay? That's really, really odd. When you're not wanted, I don't know how I would feel about that. Bit weird, isn't it? Martin Allen, hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing well. Let me just check the latest news on this one. Hang on. Let me just check, mate. Let me just check something, mate. Just want to check if something's changed in the news. But the other news, everyone, we're going to talk about is the Qatar. The Qataris had a chat with Spurs about something. Apparently, they own most of the Olympic Village around West Ham. They want to come in with some kind of investment. Because out of all the rich nations at the moment, I think there's only not rich, but a lot of millionaires, shall I say. India. Have China got money in anything? China? Premiership? I don't think so. So that leaves India and Qatar, doesn't it? Because UAE got Man City, Saudis have got Newcastle, the Americans got a good few clubs. Don't think we got many, have we, down UK? Not too sure. But so they obviously got great rivalry with the UAE and Saudi. They don't like each other, all these guys in the Middle East. So they're kind of sniffing around. And it's a weird decision why they went in for PSG anyway. It's a pretty dud average league. It's not even a football city. It's only got one club. I think rugby's bigger than football. And they haven't won the Champions League. And the longer that drags on, and they're going to lose Mbappe and Neymar at some point, it's going to get even harder. And I don't know how much revenue you get in France in terms of sponsorship compared to the Premiership. So they really shouldn't have done that in the first place. So, yeah, we're based in London. Hopefully, Tottenham will be very expensive for them because it is ready made to go, isn't it? The ground's done. The players are half good. What Danny Levy's like. It'd be too expensive for them. I mean, I still think we're overvalued at, 650 million, aren't we, compared to what Krotensky had to pay for his small percentage. So that's kind of the other news. And the other news was Dawson, wasn't it? Dawson is looking to leave. But I think he's that kind of guy where he's telling the club, I do want to leave, but if you can't buy a replacement, I might stick around. He's that kind of guy. Don't think he's one to kick up a fuss or anything like that. So that's kind of the other news floating around. And then let me go through the comments and then we'll see what else is coming up there. That's what I was hearing, Martin. Yeah, a loan deal in place. But not sure. I just got this gut thing about this guy. I don't like him. I don't know, mate. Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. It reminds me of that Good Johnson. Do you remember Iceland, Chelsea, Barcelona? He turned us down 3 times, I think. I think he's the record, I think. Just didn't want to come. I remember even Darren Bent, who I think he'd done a medical or about to do medical when Curbs was there with the Iceland cash, and last minute call from Spurs. He went to Spurs, even though Spurs had three strikers already in Berbatov, Defoe, and Robbie Keane, I think, wasn't it? And they took him, and there you go. Really? I'm not surprised, mate. Listen, I'm not happy. You're not happy. The players are not happy. Why is David Moyes still here, right? I hate watching. I hate watching us at the moment anyway. Which player would want to play for David Moyes? Just no way, mate. No way. Absolute terrible, mate. Yeah, I'm just going to check something quickly, mate. Won't be a minute. And then let me know in the chat what you want to talk about, what your comments are on everything. And then We'll get cracking. Right. Terem Mofi. Shall we have a look at him, mate? Shall we have a look at him? I don't know much about him, but let's have a look, mate. Let's have a look. Let's see what it's all about. Okay, FC Leighton Orient, eh? Say faithful Lorient. Nigeria, 2 goals, 7 caps, 23, good age. Interesting. So let's have a look at his season by season. Let's see what he's been up to. Nigeria obviously used to be very strong in Africa, but haven't really qualified for the World Cup, did they? Very good. 10 goals in 16, 8 last season, 14 the year before. Looks good, mate. And his value's about 15, 20 million, is it? Not bad. Looks good, mate. Looks good. Oh, mate. Like I was saying, Bee's Knees, that defending and attacking is about the whole team. We can't just buy strikers, leave them up there on their own and expect to score goals. That's not going to happen. It starts from the back by good wing backs, supplying the crosses, supplying the width, finding our number 10, nominate clear tactics, right? I go in the dressing room, I'll say 2 quick wing backs. You guys are going to bomb forward for me. And then when you bomb forward, one of the CDMs with the 2 centre halves will probably defend back if we need to. If we get a corner, I want a certain centre backs up there, Aguero, Zuma, whoever's got height. And then find a number 10 creative player, whether that's Benrahma, not for me, or whether it's Paqueta. And then you play together with the strikers. And they come up deep, collect the ball, give it back to you, hold it up. It's too fragmented at the moment. We're not playing as a team. So you can go and buy whoever you want, but until we change the manager, because the tactics ain't going to change under him. You must be joking, mate. Nothing's going to change under this guy, right? This is going to be slow, painful death for me for this season. I'm just going to I'm going to lose it, mate. I've had enough, right? That's what the key is. You can go and buy flipping, I don't know, Maradona, Michael Owen, whatever. I know one's retired, one's passed away, but you get the drift, right? I don't care who they sign and that kind of. You just need to change the tactics. You need to wake up, sniff the shit, and sort this crap out because it's not working, and it ain't going to work till we get a new manager in. So I don't know what the board's waiting for. It's absolutely doing. It's got to be something like they're waiting for someone to buy the club in the summer. And that's where their focus has gone. It's got to be something like that. No board member, no owner would want to watch this from the last 13 months, right? It's been dire. So we can look at transfer targets. We'll talk about them, what we think about the players, but more about the next manager coming in. You don't want to buy too many. I mean, that's even more nuts. If you buy him, the new manager comes in a month. He doesn't want him. It's a right shit show we got at the moment on the pitch and off the pitch. It's absolute madness. It is. But do you trust anyone to come in now and hit the ground running? Right, Cornet. Another story about Cornet today. He ain't going to play this season much, mate. Right, so that's another one gone. Kera, who's the other bloody idiot we got? Kera. Even if you look at John, all the fullbacks, right, all of them, absolute write-off, right? I ain't got time for any of them. Paqueta's not being used in quite the right way. I think he's a half a decent player. Skamaka is not happy, but he's a half decent player. I think we've got to make a decision on Benrahma. For me, I think we need to let him go, but wait for the new manager to see if we can get anything more out of him. I'm just talking about consistency. I know you guys saying he's been our best player this season. That's fine, but I'm just waiting to see. You know, yeah, it might give him the benefit of the doubt. Get a new manager in, play him regularly, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games in a row, and then we can judge and see. Peter, you're right, matey. Oh yeah, of course. Yep, always good, mate. Football's football, but health number one, isn't it, mate? So that I did hear that a couple of days ago. So hopefully his kind of recovery and treatment's gone well, mate. It's because we haven't got the money to go in quickly like your Liverpools, your Chelseas, get the deal done early, mate. We just take too long by that time, obviously. David Moyes changes his mind anyway. We could be chasing a player for 7 weeks, get him in the dressing room, and last minute Moyes has changed his mind. He don't want him. He wants someone else. Anyway, getting too hot around my neck anyway. Right, what would be the... Yeah, that's right, Peter. His last goal was the one at our ground, mate. But I think he's all right. I mean, Blackburn, yeah. I mean, they were in the automatic positions now and in the bottom 5, aren't they, mate? So I don't know what's going on there. Martin Allen, mate. I don't think. Well, do you trust the manager to change things with new signings? Bought 7 or 8 in. I didn't see anything any of them, mate. Agard looks good. Nice and tidy, comfortable on the ball, brings it out. Often goes over the halfway line a lot, which I don't know how David's going to let him do that, but he does that. I like that. Comes up for crosses and corners, which I like. Bit of Tony Gale in him. You know, Martin Allen, you would play with Tony Gale, you know, nice. Don't know if he was left-footed, but very cultured centre-back was Tony Gale, wasn't it? Didn't get no England caps. Very good next to Alvin Martin. And got a league champion trophy with Blackburn Rovers, didn't he, when Kenny Dalglish took him on loan for free. Funny old game, football in life, isn't it? And you'd think, Ryan, that you tap these people up. I'm sure you get tapped up early. Why you let the window open and then you're wasting so much time on people that don't want to come, and then the real targets are going somewhere else. You've got to tap the player up in October, November, put the feelers out there, right? And they're gonna say, yeah, but I'm under contract, so if you agree something with the club, then I'll come. It is a bit weird, isn't it? It is a bit weird. But put your comments down. I'm just doing something quickly. Mr. Carter. Mate, you're going to have to leave the country at some point, mate. Moroccan playing in Spain. It's a bit like, like Payet. We only wanted to play, around Marseille. Then we signed out Joey Beecham under Harry and Billy Bonds. He didn't want to leave Oxford. It's nuts, isn't it? Hang on a minute, let me just put this out there and we'll go cracking at night. The Qataris are coming with their cash. The Qataris. They're going to give us better hot dogs. Bloody, I can't find it. Where's that news gone? Anyway, where were we? Forget that. Can't find that article. I'll tell you what, Peter, you say that, but you know how many people are pretty confident he's going to stay the whole season? It's making me think now. It's making me worried now. So many people think that he's going to stay till the end of the season and we're going to finish, 4th, 5th and bottom. Really odd situation, isn't it? Really odd situation, that is. Hello, Mr. Lindelof. How are you doing, sir? All right, Ian. We love the football, mate. Great one-touch football. Great victory in the last game. We are happy. Ian, everyone get happy for Ian. Hope you're doing well, mate. We're not going to moan anymore. We're going to look at the league table, look at the league form last year, look at the new signings that came in, hit the ground running. They're worth double their value. We're going to be happy, mate. Everyone be happy for Ian. Yeah, but Wolves are kind of down there with us, aren't they? But then maybe he doesn't care about where they are in the league. He just wants one little reasonable contract and local to where he lives, mate. I'll tell you what, Pete, I used to like him, but boy, that boy has really gone down in kind of form and sort of how good he is. He's really poor at the World Cup. When Lukaku was injured, he was all over the place, mate. Really bad. What really was shocking was how he chose Crystal Palace over West Ham, wasn't it? That was a great pulling power we had. Yeah, what we're saying is, mate, is that they own a lot of property, most of the property around Olympic Village. So it's a natural purchase for them that go in with their portfolio, mate. And it's London. I'm sure they can buy the stadium for a couple of mil. Sort those screens out behind the goals. Helicopter landing pads we got behind each goal looks awful, but I'm sure you can sort it out. I don't know. He would have gone. We didn't buy any replacement in time, I think, so he would have gone. We got that Brazilian guy. I think he's on now, but they said he's not ready yet, so I don't know what's going to happen. Antonio, for me, and he's lost his love for football. The motivation's not there, mate. He just, what can I say? He just doesn't really do anything in 90 minutes. He just strides his way through games without doing anything. Just dreams his way through, doesn't he? Sliding around, falling on the floor. I like to see him not up front in that three behind. And maybe him and Bowen can fight for that place on the right wing. That's the only little thing I can see for him, mate, and where I would use him. But the thing is, like Lanzini, like Antonio, like the new extensions we've given Craswell and Fabianski, we do some daft stuff, mate. Do some daft stuff. We give him some big contracts, and I think Antonio is happy with his contract. He's not going anywhere. No one's going to buy him. He's just going to have a laugh at West Ham with the odd joke, the odd giggle on the training ground, and come on a few podcasts and that kind of stuff. So the motivation's not there for him, mate. Yeah, don't want to see him up front anyway, or Bowen. Yeah, I mean, we've got to buy 2 free strikers, mate. We've got to buy 2 free strikers, 2 wing backs, 1 on either side. Try a young goalkeeper in there now, ASAP. Think about what we're going to do, Benrahma. Think about what we're going to do with Downs and Souček. And now with Cornet injured, we need someone maybe on that side as well now, don't we? Left side to give Fornals. It's a right mess, mate. It's a right mess. That's it, mate. Alfie! Should have happened November, mate. Should have happened November. They would have had all of that World Cup month off, but who listens to me anyway, mate? Yeah, but we shouldn't be, if we've got the right ambition, we shouldn't be worried about letting Dawson go. We should be happy that we came in for 2 million, provided really good service. But you feel for him. Listen, when he more than often than not, he's going to be up against a pacey team, quicker than us. And as you've seen a number of times, it just ends up pulling him onto the floor like Krezi does. Krezi just jumps on their back and pulls their hair back, doesn't he? And goes like that. So, you know, we shouldn't really be upset about it. We should be thinking about promoting one of the youngsters or looking for the next talents out there, but got no confidence in anything the club's doing, have we, really? Even the beer's overpriced, the burgers are cold, no onions, no pie mash. I'm all right, miserable, getting I. Bloody hell, Jazz, what are you doing, mate? Bloody hell, because I'm doing this detox. No rum till the weekend. That's why I'm getting miserable. Yeah, you know the way we do things, don't we, mate? Yeah, I wonder how much we get for him, Martin. I wonder how much we get for him. I can get $1 million. Will that be enough to pay Karen Brady's annual bonus, do you think? Might be, wouldn't it? Listen, again, I love Cornet. I love Cornet, right? Of all the signings, I just love it when he played. So I didn't know he was that injury prone, mate. But I'm not a doctor. I didn't do the medical. I didn't really look into it, did I? So I don't know. You know, Paqueta, I didn't know nothing about Paqueta. Cornet, I definitely knew about him and I liked him. Paqueta, I didn't know nothing about him. So hopefully there's much more to come from him. Skamaka, I'm kind of okay with that. I'm fine with that. Agard, I'm fine with that. Emerson, Kera, I'm not really happy with that. And like I said, we need to decide on what we're going to do with Souček and Benrahma, I think. Souček, I think, should stay on the bench and rotate him. And then obviously Rice might be off. It's going to be a big problem in the middle of the field, everyone. I know, mate. I know. I'm mentally all over the place because I'm like, I don't want David Moyes here. He's still here. We've gone into this window. We're trying to buy players that because the thing with him. All right, I know you're not meant to say it, but why the win? Oh, I don't want anyone. Like last week, I don't want anyone. I don't want anyone. I think we're all right. I'm happy with what we got. I'm happy with what we got. I'm like, just shut the fuck up and just be honest and say, yeah, this has happened. We're after a few. Hopefully, we'll get a few deals done. Stop talking shit all the time. You know, it just sounds shit. It sounds like you're fucking bullshitting anyway. And if he starts like this thing again where he doesn't want anyone, he doesn't need anyone, and then the board are going to keep pushing players up his mouth, and then end up with the wrong players over the line, then they're running around with 48 hours to go. I think we all, as a fan base, we've had enough. We've had enough of this, mate. We've had enough. Do your things quickly and professionally, you know. Oh, I can't bear that, mate. You serious? Flipping hell. Oh, mate. Oh. Yeah, Peter. I think they've got the money to not even worry about the cost of it. It makes sense. It'd definitely be there, and it makes sense. Although, yeah, I don't like Westfield next to it. That's a nightmare as well, mate. Don't be surprised if they knock it down, build more apartment, and then they got the money to build it anywhere. So I don't really know where else within East London we could do it. Come back to Green Street, no. But they can do anything, Peter. They're the only ones that can do it. They got stupid money, mate. You saw the World Cup. You saw the stadiums. I don't even know if they're going to use them again. Aircon being pumped out to open air. They're nuts, mate. They're nuts. Yes, Meagle. Hope you're doing all right, man. I haven't seen you in a while, naughty boy. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah. I know. It's a right mess, mate. And it's a right shit show, mate. What about if we don't win any of the next two? What are they going to do then? Then what do? They bring a player in this week for him and then get rid of him in 2 weeks. And then they gave him the last 3 games where he's meant to get 5 points and he got 1. And then they give him another 2. No. I cannot understand what's going on, mate. Does he play the piano, mate? Oh, mate. Oh, I haven't been since the Blackburn game, Peter. Don't want to go. Not interested. Get a new manager in, I'll be there, mate. I'll be there. We don't get anything for our players, do we? Spurs get 25 million at Ericsson with a few months to go. Crazy, isn't it? We don't get anything. 5 will be really good. That sounds even more silly. So you spend the window getting players he wants, and you get rid of him, and you get a new manager in, and you sell the project to him, saying we ain't got no money for you, but here's the keys at the bottom of the table. So who's going to come in then? Oh, mate. I don't know what's going on with that, mate. Yeah, very, very odd because he's got the making of a wing back, that boy. He's got the energy. He likes bombing up front. We can sort out the defensive side because he does lose his defensive positioning sometimes. But I like the ingredients we've got to work with that guy. So, yeah, hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, you're right, Peter, mate. Mind-boggling, isn't it, mate? You prefer Kufal, Kera, Krasi and all those lot, mate. Listen, if I was him, I'd want to come back, mate. I'll make things up. I'll stumble down the stairs and say I fell over, mate. I wouldn't want to play. No. I wanted him gone after the Chelsea game, October. I would have sacked David Moyes then, mate. Simple with me. I don't mess about, mate. And bring in Poch. Give him whatever he wants, mate. All the banknotes, all the salary, all the backroom team you want. There you go, mate. That's the way I do it. It's nuts, isn't it, mate? Was he like touching his? Oh, right, yeah. I told you, in the situation we're in at the moment, you're going to get more and more injury. No one wants to play. Whereas if you're in the Arsenal situation, someone breaks a leg, they're back in 2 weeks. So that's the other situation. They had a very strong team last night, Oxford. Magnificent goals, great football. They're going in the right direction. Great finish by that striker. What's his name? Nakate. Yeah, great finish. I was laughing with the kids saying that's an Antonio Bowen finish, that one. Dinked it cleverly over the goalkeeper. We would have hit the post, mate, or gone up at the ground. Oh, Frankie. You cheeky. Everton. Is that away? I've got to check that a minute. Hang on, mate. Frankie. Let me check. Let's see the West Ham fixtures. Hang on, I just want to send a link to someone. I won't be a minute, everyone. Bloody are so slow, these bloody things, seriously. Okay, sorry about that. I thought option would be, I mean, loan to option. That's a bit too many things in our favour, I would have thought, for the club. Usually these foreign clubs, they know how much money we've got. They would want to stitch us up in some kind of commitment, isn't it? In terms of you have to buy them. A lot of these things are have to buy these days. Because remember, Tottenham used to use all these players up and send them back after using them for half the season. I think that's becoming less and less now. These teams, they'll give it to you on loan, but at the end of it, they want that commitment that you're going to have the player. All right, you can pay us later on in the summer. That's kind of more and more things I'm kind of hearing, really. I'm just going to check the West Ham fixtures. Everton, Saturday the 21st. Oh, Frankie, I got off message you, mate. Oh, bloody hell, I know what's going on that day, mate. My old man's coming down, then he got to pick him up from the airport. Yeah, he had a meeting with them and they all said Spurs kind of nothing's going on, didn't they? Yeah, you're right, mate. That's why maybe the board's thoughts and concentration's all gone there, mate. Right. Yep, he was my favourite because I truly believe in chemistry and the managers. Not every manager is right for every club. Some are not. So I think he would be perfect for us. I think, you know, good young manager, experience of the Premiership, good football, good with young players, good philosophy of football, hard-working, pressing game, looks after big names. Okay, hasn't won anything, but there's a good few out there who haven't either. Mourinho, I don't think would be. It's a DNA. We need someone who plays good football, isn't it? But Poch for me any day, mate. Right, let's go back to front. Let's see. 1 minute. Where are we? Where are we, lad? Yep, I don't mind to do the show on him, mate. Yeah. Reputation is through the roof. The only thing with him is there's a clause. You have to pay this clause before getting him out of Sporting Lisbon. But he certainly seems young, energetic, bit like Simeone, takes no shit, but he's kind of friendly as well with the players. He can do everything. He can do serious, fun, tactically very, very astute, very clever, very aggressive, and energetic. I like it. What are you doing? Hope you're doing all right, Max. Yeah, Frank McAvenny. What I like about him, he's obviously one of my favourite players, but he's he's quite honest and vocal. Just says it the way it is, you know. So Mourinho's in Italy, I think Roma, is it? I think he's all right down there, happy down there. Not with these owners, mate. Not with these owners. Not Mourinho. No. You would need Qatari come in. We can have anyone. Probably will be him if Qatar come in. I don't mind. Mourinho. Don't mind. But yeah, it's last couple of jobs haven't been. Don't think they've been that bad. Not good. Kind of above average. I know his standards are so high, isn't it? I don't know much about him. Let's have a look. Not much about him. DM 25, 61 caps for Mexico, 3 goals defensive midfield. Yeah, looks good. 25. Let's see his stats. Who's he been playing for? God, he's been around a bit, hasn't he? A lot of trophies is one. Yeah, I need to look at him, but yeah, I don't mind, mate. Pochettino. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it, for him? Yeah. But we've never, this current ownership has never paid any money for any of the managers. It never has. All the managers we've had have been out of a job, so they haven't had to pay for them. And that's why they'd rather risk relegation and get him out in the summer and pay less. I don't know how long Moyes has got. He's got another year left after this one, maybe. The rest, like Sam and Pellegrini, I don't know how much they paid him off, but not much, though, yeah. Yeah, Sporting Lisbon are very famous for tracking the world for players. In terms of how much money they make from selling, Sporting and Benfica got to be in the top 5 in the world, I think. Great conveyor belt of young players that they buy from all over the world and straight away insert 100 million, 90, and most of them come to the Premiership. Loads of players come from Portugal. Really? Well, that's high regard, isn't it, mate? That's a good reference, isn't it? Wow. I'm up for that, mate. I'll take that. I don't mind that. I do not mind that at all, mate. So he's got 18 months left. I'm just going to refresh the West Ham news. And yeah, so Dawson, Qatar. So the 4 news, yeah. So it's the NESYRII deals on, off. Dawson going inevitably this month. Qatar sniffing around for investment in perhaps West Ham, I'm not sure. Cornet's injury, yeah, he's not going to see much of him this season. And then let me just do a refresh. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, the rest is not. It's like Moyes admitting he needs to buy players. Yeah, but like I said, we've got a scouting network. Well, not networks. A couple of people in scouting. We've got scouting director of football, wherever he is, and he should have his list ready. And maybe they've seen something at the World Cup. But maybe the news is so quiet that bids have gone in. I can't believe no bids have gone in. It's the 10th of Jan. They've got to get some bids in there. Get some people in. You know, David Moyes was moaning in the summer why everyone nearly came in at the end. And yeah, in pre-season, we were not even ready. We used the first 7-8 games of the league as a pre-season. That's why the form's been wretched. If you have a really average pre-season in terms of fitness and getting your tactics out there, gelling the players together. I'm not talking about results, but actually performances on the pitch in pre-season. It was nothing there. Absolutely nothing there. Never seen nothing like it. The players left and played the summer the way they left the other season. I thought they'd go out for a break, come back, hitting the ground running. They just didn't want to be there, mate. The Bowen, Antonio, all the players just didn't want to play for West Ham. I just don't think they're interested, David Moyes. I mean, Rice is nuts. He just runs around full of energy, smiling. He's going to be on his way soon anyway. He's got a great career ahead of him. The rest of them, like Bowen, they all seem like they're suffering. Souček, Bowen, Kafal, they all want to leave. Ben Johnson. Yeah, Ben Rama, he doesn't look happy under Moisey, does he? The only people that look happy are Fabianski, Creswell, Fornells, Antonio. Those four all can't stop smiling. We're getting done every game for the past year. Those boys are loving it. It's fucking mad. Yeah, I know. The thing is, when you look on the internet, they tell you when the contract's going to end, but they never add in that option, which always kicks in, and then they add another year, doesn't it? Bit like Rice, people think it's getting closer, but I think with that option kicking in, he's got a couple of years still. Hello, Bobby. How you doing, Bobby? Bobby's back from work. No, again, chemistry, isn't it? I'm not sure Zidane is right for West Ham. I'm not sure about that. We need someone who's good with youngsters. We don't want someone who's always used to cash, you know. Some of these managers have managed for huge clubs, got no idea of trying to, buy players for on the cheap and things like that. Yeah, not sure. Yeah, but does that tie into where perhaps there's going to be a crackdown on betting? There's too much adverts in betting. Every channel, every commercial break. Most of the football teams have got it on their shirts. So I think this could be to that where there's going to be a clause or a ruling by the, I don't know what you call them, FA Premier League, where you won't be able to have a betting team on your shirt. So it could be linked into that perhaps. And I don't think we get a lot for our sponsorship deals compared to other clubs anyway, you know. This is where Karen Brady should earn her millions, and she doesn't do it. Some of the shirt deals at Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, United, understandably, it's huge, mate, huge. Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's going to kick in soon, mate. Talking about Dale, boy, God, my Christmas was lit up by Only Fools and Horses, mate. Kept me going. Can't get enough of that. Nuts in it, mate. Absolutely nuts. Hang on. Let's have a look at something. So those are the main things. Like I said, it's not our job to really identify targets because you don't know who's available, who's not. You don't know how they're going to settle into West Ham, who you know. We can certainly talk about them when they're linked with us. But in summary, it doesn't fill me with any great excitement because I don't think any new player coming in is going to do anything due to the manager. So I don't think they're going to completely change. There's too many issues at the club, on the pitch, tactics, form. There's too many things that are wrong. We need a complete overhaul, a brand new guy in, and then you'll see a lift and improvement in our performances. And we'll have to, build that foundation again that David, to be fair to him, did it 2-3 years ago. And now we've beginning to lose all those brownie points he earned, really. And we're in a dire situation at the moment. So I'm not really interested. I'm interested in the new manager. I'm not interested in any players at the moment because I've got no confidence in the setup at the moment, And he's been given enough warnings. Like I said, the form from last December has been awful. So in the summer, should have really seriously looked at his backroom team staff, brought a couple of new coaches in. I don't know, spoken to Martin Allen, who's in the chat now, Joe Cole. Just bring someone in, more exciting, young. But then David's one of those old school, he ain't going to listen to any second opinion, maybe. But since Stuart Pearce has gone, Alan Irvine, it's not been good. And I look at Warburton and people like that. Would they motivate you? Would David Moyes motivate you at the moment? When you look at him on the touchline and you look at Arteta or someone else full of energy, coaching on the touchline, pointing fingers, or someone like Klopp putting his arm around youngsters, talking to them for 5 minutes before they come on, continuously hugging them, pat on the back. Don't see any of that from any of our coaches. And Nolan used to be really, really happy. He's gone into his shell for the past year. You don't really notice him anymore. So there's something just not quite right at the club. And it's not nice someone loses his job. But for me as a West Ham fan, and from my own selfish point of view, I want a change. I do want to change, mate. I do want to change. I'm going to go through a couple of comments. But yeah, I mean, I think that Blackburn kid's all right. Don't want Danny Ings. I don't want someone like that anymore. We've got to get someone in the mid-20s, bring that average age down. But the worry is, like we lost 7-8 players. We're going to lose the same amount this summer. So we've got to use this window, and we should have done it with a new manager. If this drags on with David Moyes, they're not going to buy hardly anyone. And if someone comes in, it's going to be one David didn't want, they wanted, and he ain't going to play him the right way. It's going to be a complete shit show. It's just not going to. It's not going to be good for anyone. Yeah, it just doesn't create. I mean, it was rocking at the Chelsea game, the Sevilla semi-final, the Liverpool home game, but not too often, mate. Not too often. It's a two-way thing. The team have got to G us up a bit as well. We got to do our bit. It's just nothing special there, mate. I mean, look at the atmosphere at Ellen Road. What Bowen was saying. Bowen even said, yes, had a great atmosphere at Ellen Road. I could feel it watching it on TV. Really good stadium, old school. Not sure about giving him the job. I don't know about that either, mate. Not sure. Really need someone a bit younger, mate. Need someone a bit younger, I mean, God, I was at school, wasn't I? Primary school when PC used to play. Really old school. So coach, yeah, but not to come in as a manager with a 4 or 5 year plan or to change things around, managing by the right. I think it's not. Don't see that in PC. Don't see that, mate. Free transfers. We'll have a look. See if I can find any for you, mate. This website normally gives you free agents, so let's have a look. Free agents. Let's have a look, mate. So if I just show my screen, free agents, mate. You've got Isco there, mate, 30 years old, out of contract since 2-3 weeks ago. That's about it, isn't it? I don't know any of the others. Yeah, got right back there. I don't know nothing about him. Rondon's there. Rondon. Yeah, Rondon's a free agent. Roberto Torres. Let's have a look. Michael Hector, centre back. Is that the Arsenal guy? I'm not sure. Tom Carroll, centre mid. Danny Rose, left back. My goodness, he's still knocking around. Who else you got? There's not much there, mate. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, not much there, apart from that, really. I'm not sure about the stadium. I've been there. It's a bit of a... It's not as good as it looks on TV, because not all the stands are the level. It's a bit of a... I like the area. I like the fans. I like where it's situated in the town centre, mate. I like the pies. But not sure about the ground when you're in there. I don't know. It doesn't look as impressive. Yeah, not sure, mate. Yeah, he is all right, but I think he's had a lot of off-the-pitch issues mentally as well. So I'm not sure if he's in a good place, mate. And if anything, will make it worse for him, mate. We'll make it worse. Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's about like... Oh, mate, I don't know how many floors it is. It's loads, mate. The funny thing is, as you climbing up, the fans that already got to the top, that they're watching you from the top, probably giggling away, isn't you? Watching you suffer, mate. So you got that all cool, isn't you? Like do deep breaths, like slowly, and make sure can't show that you're out of breath or out of not fit enough. Yeah, it's like I said, mate. It's you can conjure up lots of interesting names, and it's just a manager. Is he going to get? Have you got any trust in the manager to get anything out of him, mate? Don't know. Really sad story with Ali, although I didn't like him anyway. He's in Turkey, and he got taken off after 20 minutes in a game last week, which means they're not interested in him either. So it's a very interesting story, but it's more or less he's running out of clubs. I think he could go to America. I don't know, but it's over for him at the age of, I don't know, 26, 27. Everton can wait to see the back of him. Mourinho can wait to see the back of him. It's really, it all went down the hill for him. Apparently, he had a new contract in lockdown. He signed some sponsorship deals with some gaming people, and then part of this that he's online a lot. He used to be online late playing games with people on some kind of platform or channel. That's where his focus was. So I think the money came in really quickly, the fame, the England caps, and then he got sidetracked into sponsorship deals with products, and his focus, just motivation's gone. And that's it, mate. That's what I'm hearing. How you doing, mate? Yeah, I know what you mean, matey. Frankie. How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. You?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm just as you know, yeah, transfer window's opened up. Got a few players linked. Qatar story.
Come on to Charlton, mate. Come on to Charlton, boys.
They're playing today.
Man United, Old Trafford.
8 o'clock kickoff, is it?
Yeah, mate. 8 o'clock kickoff.
Whoa!
Big one for them.
Actually, Man United have been drawn to play Reading in the cup, haven't they?
Yes, I think they did, didn't they?
Yeah. My local team, and we've got Derby away, which is it's a nice draw.
No, it's not.
I think so.
Do you know they haven't lost a game in 16?
I just thought that. Yeah.
I know they're 2 leagues below us and everything else, and I understand that. But you know, when a team's just got that winning feeling, they just don't lose. Mate, if you haven't lost a game in 16, flying high, full of confidence, nothing to lose, in front of your own fans, I think it's a tough old draw, mate. And, mate, I've been there a couple of times, ended up getting stranded there after having a bit of a debacle with some of their fans, and it's just not a very nice place to go, mate. There's not much around it. It's not a very thriving place. It's just, I don't know. I can't see what the excitement is about going to Derby, mate. It's it's not the best draw, but mate, it's, you know, it is what it is.
I think, yeah, Derby's very close to Nottingham, East Midlands, I think, the Rams. But baseball ground was the old one. This is the new ground. Is like Southampton, probably on the edge of edge of town somewhere.
Yeah.
I just thought that because they're doing so well in the league, I didn't think they wanted to risk anything in the FA Cup. I don't know.
No, I think they will. I don't think they've got a lot to lose. They're up there. They're in fourth, I think, and they something like that. You know, just why not try and have a Premier League scalp, mate? I know you could say they've got to focus on the playoffs and all that, but I think it's a given, mate. I think they're going to get playoff / automatic anyway. So, yeah, I think for them, I think they'll go all out for it, mate. I really do.
I don't know if you know about Dele Alli. I found out last week what, it's nearly all over for him, mate. Turkey want to get rid of him. He got taken off after 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's job done, mate, isn't it? It's, you know, his career's been over for a long while, mate. It wasn't just because of what's just happened. He's, you know, you watch that documentary with Mourinho at Tottenham, and he was saying to him, you know, you don't try hard enough, you don't train hard enough. His mindset just wasn't in it, and that's it, isn't it? He just, you know, shame, because he had all the ability in the world at one point, didn't he? He was scoring goals for fun, and he was looking like he was going to be a really good player, but I guess some people have their own demons, mate, don't they?
Yeah, I never liked him for a few reasons anyway. But apparently went downhill in lockdown when he was given a really big contract, England regular, signed up some sponsorship. One of them was this gaming company, and I reckon that's kind of, he got really into it, where most of the night he was playing games on some platform.
Yeah.
You're not going to be in a good head for training the following morning, and
No,
that's the end for him, mate. But
yeah.
It is. But what I was kind of summarising is that, again, yeah, a good percentage think Moyes is going to stay. So if we don't do well in the next 2 games and we're trying to look for players in the window, I can't get my head around what's going on, mate. I don't understand it. It's really odd, isn't it? We're trying to buy players that he wants or he doesn't want, and don't know. I mean, I don't know of many clubs have sacked managers in the window. They sacked them before, not
Yeah.
while the window's going on. I mean, that's a bit of a.
I think the problem, and I think a lot of people are seeing it, mate, it's just we're leaving it so late to turn it round. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just the more you end up in it. But I make a few people listening to a few of the videos from last night on social media and so on. A lot of people feel, if you go and beat Wolves, then it's pretty much a given you go and beat Everton. The Wolves game would give you enough confidence and enough momentum to go and to beat Everton then. So I don't know. If you win those 2 games, then Moyes is definitely here for the duration. But that would put us in a good position to say we're most likely going to be safe after that. Everything's on these 2 games, mate. These 2 games are massive, aren't they? They're huge.
But my feeling, Frankie, is that, like you normally get, the players are not playing for him. So how do you win?
But what they are playing,
Mm.
like when Declan Rice did the old huddle in the middle of the pitch and pointed to the fans. That's him saying, play for the fans, play for the shirt. And I do think that some of them are trying to play for the badge and for the fans at the moment. Not necessarily Moyes, but I do think they are trying to be a bit more committed than maybe they have been up until now. So is that enough? I don't know, mate. I don't know.
But we are that kind of team who the more we score, the more we're going to let in. It's going to be 3-3, 2-2, 4-4, whatever, But Calvin Lewin's back fit. Wolves, yeah, it'll be a good game. See what happens. Tossard, is that the Brighton guy? Isn't he?
It's an interesting game, that Wolves one, mate. I think a lot of people, there's a few differences of opinion on who should play and whether or not Fornal should come back into the mix or not, and whether or not Ben Rama should start. They're not a big team, mate. They're quite a small team. They're not very physical. While a lot of people are knocking Souček and, a lot of people would maybe rather see Ben Rama over Fornals, unlike the last game. I actually think it's probably the right move to play Fornals. I'm not Fornals' biggest fan, but I think he'll chase that ball down, maybe try and feed off Scamacca a little bit, which will help Scamacca try and get in front of goal. And I think it might be the right option. But if he's damned, really, Moyes. Look, I'm not giving him a way out here at all. I can't stand the man. But if he starts Fornals, everyone's going to scream, why isn't he starting Ben Rama? If he starts Ben Rama and it doesn't work out, everyone's going to scream. He's kind of a bit doomed, really, mate.
Yeah, I think this comment, you're right, mate. Yeah, but the Spurs, like I said, they always manage to get a lot of good money for their players, and they managed to offload him. I was thinking Everton got him on loan, but I think they got him permanently, and now they're stuck, and now they're trying to put him on loan and get some money back.
Did you mention the old Wolves link with Dawson, but then apparently there's one more player that they're interested in and bidding for as well? Who do you think that might be?
No, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Well, they got a Spanish manager and Pablo Fornals, mate. That could be the one.
Interesting. I think you did say someone's going to leave that we don't expect, didn't you? I think. Is that the one? I don't know.
Yeah. I think so. Well, I think we need a couple of bodies in, 1 or 2. I don't think we can have another blank January window. I think we need something, and I don't think he's going to be given that as extra cash. I think someone will have to go out the door, and Dawson's not going to raise any money, is he? So, don't be surprised if someone like Fornals leaves, mate. I don't think.
Yeah, just finish on a Dele Alli. Yeah, he's only 26, and he's on loan to Besiktas from Everton. So not good from Lampard. Watched the Sheffield Wednesday game other night. Windass, good little midfielder. Have Charlton got anyone you like, mate? Who's their best player then?
Their best player is Scotty Fraser. He's a good little player, mate. Scored at the weekend. He's someone who just stands out by a mile. Like, they're just so above the level that they're playing at. He probably isn't a Premier League player. He's probably a Championship player, but he's certainly too good for League One.
Where does he play? Midfield, is it?
Midfield, yeah. They've got another player who's a winger, Raki something or other. I can't stand him. He doesn't track, doesn't run. He just stands around doing nothing. But when he gets the ball, he's like really skillful, flair player. But when he gets it, he does make things happen. You know, when normally these flair players, they don't do a lot. When they get the ball, they try the skill and it don't come off and everyone goes, oh, he doesn't. When he gets the ball, he does actually skip past players, get in front of goal, has good shots. He's got loads of ability, but he is the laziest football player. And some people like him because he's just got that flair. But I can't stand a flair-only player. You've got to do your bit. You can't just stand around and watch everyone else doing all the work while you just wait for the ball to be at your feet so you can do something Ronaldinho-esque. It's just...
looks like a player Harry used to like. He used to be that Al Turab at QPR. He used to be a bit like that.
Turab, yeah, he was.
Didn't
Ben Arthur was another one, wasn't it? There's been a few of them about. Well, we had one, didn't we? Ravel Morrison, mate. He was one, wasn't he?
Do you think Philippe Anderson was like that a little bit and changed?
I don't know, mate. He's doing well for Lazio this season, and it's quite funny, mate. If you look at the graphs of Felipe Anderson and Haller for what their current value is on transfer market, you've got Felipe Anderson that goes like this, right? He comes along, skyrockets at West Ham, goes up to his value about 30, 40 million. And then he signs for West Ham and his value goes, and now it's creeping back up again. He's same with Haller. Haller's like this, value, signs for West Ham. He's worth a fortune. A couple of weeks after signing for West Ham, he's not worth anything anymore. How we do this all the time, I'll never know, mate. We just ruin the value of players.
I don't think anyone would want to sign for Moyes, mate, in the window. I don't think so. Any big player like that.
It's tough, isn't it, mate? You can throw money at someone to tempt them, can't you? But but the thing is as well, mate, word gets around. You know what I mean? Like anyone who's played with Haller around Ajax or anywhere like that, players put in phone calls. They pick up the phone and say, "Oh, I've had an offer from West Ham. I know you was there. What do you think?" They'll turn around and go, "Avoid it like the plague." Do you know what I mean? It's not good. You can't keep ruining players and building a bad reputation for. In the old days, everyone and it's quite interesting, isn't it? In the old days, you used to feel like anyone who would pick up the phone to anyone who played West Ham, they'd turn around and go, "It's a special club." It may not be the biggest club, but it's a special club. That is somewhere that you have to go and play football. You imagine the sort of phone calls that'd be had now. I just imagine people would be turning around going, "Whatever you do, just don't go there."
There's an interesting comment from David Cross. Obviously, your dad watched him, and he says that when they came in for him, he thought he wasn't good enough for West Ham. So he didn't want to sign because of that. He said they're a huge club, London club. I've played for small clubs up north, and he says that I played for West Brom. I played for one I wanted to, but West Ham. He goes, "There's no level. It's huge, and you come down, So there's players like that. There's another player." I think he was really crap though in the 80s, Gary Strodder. He said, when I heard West Ham in for him, I would have walked from West Brom I would have walked it all the way. So, this kind of image we had, and hopefully get it back. I ain't got a clue, mate. But this is a very interesting question, isn't it? I ain't going to answer it, or will I? I don't know. In this situation, would you go as far as wanting West Ham to lose to get him out?
The problem is, mate, I think if you lose both of them, I just don't see what manager would want the job. And I think it would be so tough to survive then. With the run of games we've got after that, after them two, I think we're going to be bang in trouble. I can't, even though it's to get rid of Moyes, I can't want that to happen just because of it almost puts the first nail in the coffin for us, mate. I know it's early doors, but it's going to be really hard to turn it around if we lose both of them games. Really hard. So, no, I would take a loss to Wolves to get rid of him. New manager comes in for Everton and we beat Everton. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, and I think why it's happened, the situation we're in now, there's two things they're thinking, and that's all it can be, I can think of. One is that he's going to get them out of it. The other is they've got someone lined up then who's like Deitch, someone out who's waiting. We won't have to negotiate much, and he'll come in. That's the only thing I can think of why they're acting like this. You can't have not anyone lined up, or you're going to try to get someone out of a club with how long it's going to take to do all of that. They've got to be thinking he's going to sort it out. I don't know. They reckon the Qataris own most of that Olympic Village, mate, all around the ground.
It's not true.
No?
They own some of it, but they
Yeah.
don't own anywhere near as much as people are making out. There's a map.
Yeah.
If you go onto Google and you search for land ownership of the Olympic Park, there's an up-to-date live map of who owns what in the Olympic Park.
Yeah.
And the majority, you'll be very, very surprised how much the LLDC still own. It's huge amounts. So they do own some, of course they do. But the problem is, mate, at the moment, and this is what people need to realise, I was listening to some bits and pieces on social media earlier on, and people saying how much of a investable club we are and how much of a asset West Ham is. We're not an asset. We don't own anything, mate.
Yeah.
A Qatari ain't going to look at that and go, oh, I fancy a bit of Rush Green. Isn't that lovely down there? I want a bit of that. Oh, Chadwell Heath. That's a really nice bit of thing down there. I'll have a bit of that. They ain't interested in any of that. The land that they want is that land around our stadium, but we don't own it. So until we own it, there's no way a Qatari is interested remotely in West Ham United, mate. We have to own that before they'd even, take a look at us, I think.
Yeah, because I used to borrow in the past based on, like you said, a little bit of a director loan injection at the beginning. And then once that dried up, then they were looking at one or two of their friends. And that was with the guarantee being the Premiership money. Before it came in, they used to borrow against that and then pay him back and then do that. Really like scraping the barrel the way they're running the club. And then that's why luckily that Kotensky came in and put more money in. They weren't going to put any more money of their own in. And now, like you said, how do you borrow money on what would you borrow money on? You can't borrow a training ground, ain't worth much, is it? I don't know.
But that's why Sullivan has to go to his old mates to borrow money.
Yeah.
That's why he's got to go and borrow him off all of his old cronies, mate, because, any bank would look at you and say, well, what are we putting the money against? I know you could put it against the TV money. And of course, a financial machine like West Ham will be able to go and get money in all different types of means. But, from a real investor, someone who knows what they're talking about and knows about money, they wouldn't look at West Ham as a sensible investment. Because if they ever wanted to liquidate it or anything happened to the team or the worst happened, we got relegated, their money would go into oblivion, mate. These people ain't stupid. Do you know what I mean? If you've got that real estate, if you've got that asset, that land, they would be all over you like a rash. Why are they after Tottenham? They want Tottenham because Tottenham have got that stadium they've built is an absolute money-making machine. It's unbelievable. The contracts with the NFL, the contracts with the boxing, the contracts with other sporting events, every day that stadium is taking money in every day. It's an asset. What we've got, we don't have anything.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I'm not too sure with that. And I don't know if someone's going to buy the ground from them or not, because it's costing them millions to keep running it the way it is now as well. So I'm not too sure. Weghorst, is that Dutch striker, that big guy, is it?
Yeah, he's a unit, isn't he?
Oh, he scored in the World Cup, didn't he, against Argentina? Yeah. He's all right, mate. Yeah, he's all right.
I mean, he'd suit Moyes. I don't know if you'd want him for any other type of manager, but he'd definitely suit Moyes.
Cosmos thinks it's Antonio. He ain't going nowhere. No. His record last couple of years isn't very good, injury prone. So
I don't think anyone's silly enough to touch him with a barge pole, mate. Personally, he's spent and he's just done. In terms of football, his career's over, really.
Would you do a Fornells Adam Traore swap? I don't know.
I mean, he just don't get a look in at the moment, does he, Traore? He
looks a shadow.
Plays any football. I don't know what's happened to him. He's another one though. Mentality's all wrong, isn't it? It's
Simeone. It's a weird one because he's only ever been at that club, so I don't know what to think of him. But he's done ever so well. But
yeah, I love his passion. I love his passion.
It's a bit like Big Sam at Bolton, Curbs at Charlton, and it's not quite the same when they go somewhere else. And yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, you wouldn't mess about with him. Put it that way. Certainly got personality and stuff.
That Richard Chin, he's absolutely spot on there. I've watched him a few times now. He's a really good little player. Really good little player. He is.
If he's little, he ain't gonna be the Moisey style, then, is he?
No, but he's a really really decent player, mate. He is. He looks the part. That's for sure.
Charlton had that West Ham player, that young one that went to Anderlecht, didn't they?
Cullen.
Yeah, so they probably still remember him, don't they? He was all right there, didn't he?
They loved Cullen, mate. They thought he had all the ability in the world. They thought he was easily going to step up to the Premier League, and that he stood out. And we never give him. All of these youth players, we just don't give them the chance, do we? We don't give them the opportunity. You don't mind them leaving if they played a few fringe games, come on for 10 minutes here and there, not looked up to scratch, and then they go out the door. You think fair enough. But I think a lot of the frustration most of the time is we don't even see any glimpses of them, do we? We just don't get to take a look at them.
No, he just puts them on the bench. Even in Europa, when we already qualified as the winners, he didn't really, I mean, he did put them out, but they're under pressure as well when they know this is our only chance in the whole year. You're under a lot of pressure then.
Yeah. But here's another part of our problem. We're talking about scouting here and so on. We gave Moyes' son the scouting job. Like, he had no real track record, no real credentials, no real, other clubs go and sign people who have proven that they can go and sniff out a good player that turns into an asset for the club and turn into a massive player for them, whether that be through making money from them in the fight, like selling them in the transfer window, or whether it be from what they can offer on the pitch. But other people go and hire proven scouts off the basis of, you picked out X, you picked out them, you picked out them. We go and give it to Moyes' son. We can't keep doing things like that, mate. That's not how you run a football club.
And the final thing on Charlton is that Lee Bowyer was always strong connected to both clubs, isn't he? It's Charlton and West Ham came from there. Robert Lee, people like that. Do you have any idea? Scout, it's Rob Newman, isn't it? Rob Newman's a scout, and he's got that other Norwich guy with him, and the two of them. I don't know how much bigger it is after that. I don't know whether we got people in Latin America or ain't got a clue.
Moyes' son, you got son. Moyes' son up there scouting Dunfermline and wherever else he's scouting for us.
Yeah, and then Klopp picks up all the Scottish fullbacks, doesn't he? We miss out on all of them.
Yeah, that's nice. Fair play. And I'm knocking the Scottish League there, but there've been a few little gems that have come out of it. So
yeah, like the Turney guy you're talking about, weren't you? Arsenal and Robertson and those guys. So yeah, we do have a couple of director football scout and one underneath him, but yeah, mate. When he went to a holiday, didn't he? Frankie didn't like it. He went to Dubai, didn't he? Was it? Moisey was on holiday, wasn't he? Lockdown.
Florida, he went.
Well,
Florida.
sorry, November. Yeah. Oh, Florida. I'll tell you what. Before Dubai, everyone used to go Florida, hire a villa out there. I remember back in the 80s and stuff.
Thailand seems to be the flavour of the month. I'm seeing loads of celebrities out in Thailand at the moment.
Thailand has always been there, isn't it? Always been there. It's a favourite.
Trendy all of a sudden, mate. It had a bit of a seedy sort of cheap, nasty sort of. I don't know. Just people weren't really making that much of it, but it's got really trendy again. So.
I'll tell you what, a lot of old uncles go there and bring a wife back, don't they?
That's it, mate. That's it. We'll find out where we're going soon, mate. I'm looking forward to that. Where we're going to go on our next European adventure.
It's March, isn't it? It'll be March.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, I like the positivity there, mate. Season starts now. Yes. Yeah, your government, like the Saudi government, they own Newcastle. We all know that, don't we? Hope you're well, Richard. Yeah, that's the problem with these guys. They're the royal kingdoms. They own all the revenue, don't they, mate? Oh, mate. Good evening, Mr. Gatesy. How you doing, Gatesy? You all right? God, I haven't caught up with you in a while, have we? Running around doing stuff. Going to Man U. Is he that highly thought of, is he?
Yeah, it seems that way. Again, a weird appointment, mate. I'm not sure he fits into their style of football, but yeah, if they want him.
Didn't he? Oh, right. He's playing at Besiktas, is he? Okay.
Yes, he is, mate. Yeah.
Oh, they reached an agreement 45 minutes ago. It's a loan. 3 million loan.
Yeah.
Wow. But that's the worrying thing, John. I don't think any player wants to play for Moyes, and Agard, what he's seen, he can't sell the club to him, can he? Look at the table now we're playing, and look at all the 7-8 players that came in. I'm not sure about that, mate. No. That was no. John Lally, I like the name. Yeah, we were speaking about him earlier, John, and I'm not sure on him, mate. I'm not sure on him. He hasn't got that many goals last couple of years, and he's apparently turned us down twice. So, not sure.
Like I said to you, mate, the reason why it works is if, regardless of his attitude towards us or anything else, if it's a loan to buy and Sullivan ain't got to put his hand in his pocket and it fills a gap and it gets a new body in before the window closes, Sullivan will be all over that, mate. That'll be absolutely up his street.
But the other thing is, obviously, like I was saying, doesn't matter who you're going to buy. You can buy 70 million. I'm not going to get excited. If we buy 70 million striker tomorrow, I'm going to be as miserable as I fucking am now, because we're not going to do nothing with him, because we don't attack as a team. To get the striker to score goals, you need wing backs, better fullbacks, and number 10 width. You need all of that. Then you're going to get something at you. At the moment, it's 3 separate departments working separately from each other. The defense, the midfield, and the midfield seems to spend all the game helping the defense. So forget going up front. You know what I mean? I don't really care about who we bring in. We're not going to do anything with him, mate. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. I like Wan-Bissaka, mate, because the way I keep saying in my program, when I look at fullbacks, I'm looking at wing backs now. I'm not looking at fullback. I'm looking at someone who's got energy, stamina, strength, and he can play that role as a fullback, 4-4-2, 3-5-2 wing back. And I think Wan-Bissaka's got it in his game. He's fast. He's got strength. He likes to cross the ball in. And in a way, maybe I do feel sorry for Krezi. He's an old school fullback. You know, wing backs. It's hard position, you know.
I'll tell you what, though, all I would say on that, if this was at the end of the season, I would be okay with bringing in someone like the type of players there, Wan-Bissaka, Traore, you've got to get their momentum up, because they've sat on the bench. They haven't played much football. They're not high flying at the moment. I'm not sure we need players like that around us right now. If it's the end of the season and you're going to give them a pre-season to get a feel for things and try and get a fresh start, that's fine. I think whoever we sign in this window, they've got to be already on form, mate, because you need them to come in and hit the ground running. We need people in positive mentality, positive mindset, full of confidence to come into the team and give us a bit of life. I'm not sure we need players who haven't played much football and then you're going to chuck them into a relegation battle and go, come and help us survive. I'm not sure that's the right move, mate.
I think you're right. Yeah. He obviously came with a big reputation. Actually, he only had that one season with Palace, and they came in with that whopping fee and grabbed him. So Palace kind of done well. Irish Tommy, hope you're doing well. I've sent you a link. Come in if you want, mate, and to you, Gatesy, as well. Yeah, that's an interesting point. No one offered him, but I felt, Tommy, that he was what we needed, and I'll stick out my neck out for that. I thought about him and Eddie Howe, and it's on record. Eddie Howe didn't. He wasn't my number one. He was my not number two. So he wasn't number one because I just wanted to see him at one other club. And I know Moyes only done it at Everton. I just thought Moyes was a bit more experienced and just he'll come in and get them together and that kind of thing, really. Yeah. But long term, you aren't the answer, mate. Yeah, that's what I said, mate. Yeah. I agree with you, bang on. And also, I don't think whoever comes in, Gatesy, I don't think we're gonna do a lot for him, and he's going to be able to do a lot for us, mate. And then we'll just end up on the, Jazz after a few rounds start swearing at the new signings. Well, nothing's going to change. Tommy. Yeah, I know, mate. I think you're right, Gatesy, and I think Big Sam, his son, was he involved as an agent? I think there's some of that coming in, mate.
And you don't, but no, what was their background? You don't know. What I'm saying is we let people learn on the job with us. Most people go to a smaller job first, learn the trade, and then you bring them in. And that's fair enough if you've built your credentials up. We can't just keep going to give random people jobs, scratching their backs and let them learn their trade at West Ham. I don't think that's right, mate, but each to their own, I suppose.
I agree, Gate. We were talking about him earlier. I like Diaz. I like him. And we could buy him and loan him back. But at the moment, he's obviously doing what's best for him, which is help the club hopefully get promoted. And he's a free. You make a lot of money signing on fee, so he's not in a rush. But like I said, you can get anyone out of any club, and you can do a deal as well. Otherwise, how many clubs are going to be after him in the summer as a free transfer?
Yeah,
he might go abroad. God knows. How are you doing? Oh, Scottish football. I used to like it now and again. I don't really watch it, to be fair. They are a bit struggling, aren't they? They used to be quite competitive back in the day. There's gonna be a lot of rumours now, mate. A lot of rumours every single day. I didn't know a lot about this areola injury at the week. Oh, of course. What am I talking about? Yeah, of course. Yeah, because I saw the team and I thought, why isn't he starting? And apparently in training, was it just before the kickoff, warming up?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Frank Lampard, it's going to be the end for him, I think, for now. So, like Gerrard.
Where's he going to go? Who's going to want to give him a job at the moment?
I'm not sure. I mean, he doesn't really... Listen, he won it all as a player, got loads of businesses. I don't know why he came in, to be fair. No, I'm not sure. Not sure, mate. He might just be a pundit now. Yeah, you're right, Gates. You give some of the youngsters a chance, maybe, but then sometimes you want to bring them in.
But did you see that Mubama, after Sonny Perkins scored, and he posted the picture of Perkins scoring on his social media with across it, as if to say, he's a good player, you shouldn't have let him go, you're a bunch of idiots. Like, if you've got a youngster like that dicking out David Moyes for upsetting a youngster and him going elsewhere, why would you start putting him in a team? A lot of people saying they want Ashby. Ashby's told you today, I don't want to play for you. I'm leaving. I'm not signing a new contract. Mate, we've got so many people around us at the moment who just outright don't want to play. Why would you give them a chance? They don't even want to be at the football club, mate.
Ryan's in the chat. Ryan Akpom. I don't know much about him. If he's scoring, what I want to do is just, let the new manager come in. Let's see what he wants. But I'll check that guy, mate. You know anything about him, Middlesbrough, Akpom?
No, I don't, mate. I know Carrick's there, and he at the moment, and need a manager.
Could be. Mandy's in the house. Mandy, I hope you're doing all right. Crawley Town did, in fact, make inquiries, Tommy. Oh, for Moisey. There we go. Ryan's in the mood. Ryan's feeling better.
Ryan's kicking off.
He's feeling better. Yeah. Lingard. Oh, yeah, Lingard. Where's Lingard gone? Lingard. You were right, Frankie, about Lingard, weren't you? I was all over him, mate, in the summer.
Yeah.
I wanted him in.
But again, we weren't in the position we're in now to give someone like that a chance. If, you roll the dice, it's a big, big risk. To take somebody who's not played much football and expect them to come and help you out of the position we're in, it's a big, big ask, mate. I just think we need someone ready, and I just think we need someone full of confidence and has already been playing football. Bring them in and let them hit the ground running, mate. I really do.
But going back to this comment, we should have 4 strikers. We should have 4, so the 4th one can be a kid. You don't need to put pressure on him. So because you got the other 3. But what Moisey does, doesn't buy anyone for 2 years, and then he's got just the 1, and the 1 ain't playing, and now he got nothing again.
Yeah,
he's just right weirdo, mate. What's happened to Mopay at Everton? Is he injured, or I haven't heard nothing?
No, I haven't heard anything, mate. No,
I thought at 14 million he was all right. Penalty taker and hard worker and all that.
Yeah.
Let me see what Mopay's been up to. 13 million. Another Frank. So Lampard has definitely pissed off the owners if he's not doing anything, mate. So 2 caps, under 21 for France, 26 years old. Brentford player. 1 goal. 1 goal in 13. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I pressed the wrong thing, didn't I? Hang on. How you doing?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
The light is shining on you, Gatesy. God's light shining on you, mate.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Alexa,
No.
dining room 20%. Bit better.
Yeah, look at that, mate.
There you go. There you go.
Happy,
Good.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you. Hope you have a nice Christmas, mate.
Happy New Year to you boys as well. Christmas was a bit rough, but we'll leave that there. I'll talk to you about that later, maybe.
Yeah, I've got a funeral as well, close funeral this week, so bit of that. Apart from that, I'm completely skint, mate. The kids are taking it, whatever I had.
I'm in the same boat as you then, old son.
And the wife was like, "Oh, I need a holiday." I'm like, "What? I can't even think about that at the moment. The holiday kitty, you know?"
No, definitely not.
Here we go, Jazz. Look, I'm about to tune in. Look who's commentating on ESPN Plus.
Is it John Hutchinson? Is it?
Yeah, good call, mate. I had to check him a little for the first glance.
Yeah,
I was like, is that him or not?
He's changed a bit, mate.
Changed a lot, hasn't
Yeah, yeah, Don's all right, isn't he? You had him on your channel yet, Gatesy? Don?
No, not yet. Got a few irons in the fire, so to speak, but nothing's been tablets of stone yet or anything. But yeah.
Who's been your favourite that you've interviewed so far? Because you've done a number now. Wow. Okay, David Cross.
Yeah, he was something else. We interviewed him. That lasted over 3 hours, and we had to literally say, David, seriously, we got to stop now, mate.
Oh no, that was a big one, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to go and watch the football, boys. Gatesy, nice to meet you, mate. Nice to see you.
Take care, mate.
Nice to see you, mate. I'm going to go and watch the football with the boy. See you later on.
Take care, Frankie. Mind you go.
Bye.
Good luck, Charlton.
Come on, Charlton.
Come on, Charlton.
Yeah, take care, mate. Yeah,
he's in Welling, isn't he, Frankie?
Kent somewhere.
Yeah, he's not far from me.
Yeah, shouldn't be. We do have a lot of fans of Kent, and why I get jealous is their journey seems to be very, very smooth. You know, quite quick.
Yeah, well, I'm quite lucky because I just jumped on high speed 1 at Ebbsfleet International, and in 12 minutes later, I'm in Stratford.
My cousin's in Ebbsfleet, and he's telling me that it'll take him hardly anything and meet up and that kind of thing. And he said stay over, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it is quite like that. But generally, it's just I've not enjoyed my football since. Well, I haven't enjoyed it.
Me neither.
No, I haven't, and I haven't been since the Blackburn game, and I don't go regularly anymore. I am just miffed at what's going on at a club. The game kicks off, I don't get excited. We score. Sometimes I don't even shout anymore. We scored against Arsenal. I knew we were going to lose anyway. It's a weird feeling. It's just weird.
It's just really sort of. I know. Look, I don't want to come across as someone that's just going to have a moan just for moaning's sake.
I do it all the time. Don't worry.
No, I know, but I mean, we obviously beat Brentford at the weekend. Great, fantastic, but right towards the end, with 4 minutes to go, we got 2 young strikers sitting on the bench who had scored in the under-21 game the previous day. What would have been the harm of giving one of them? I'm not saying go both of them, but give one of them the last 4 minutes. Why not? Instead, he brings off the 2. You know, he brings off Paquetá and he puts on. He brings off Paquetá and he brings on Fornals and Downs was the other one, wasn't it? Was it Downs? It wasn't really an imaginative sort of. And all right, we got away with it, but that was a typical David Moyes substitution, wasn't it? It wasn't like let's sort of like really try and sort of cement this win and try and get a second. It was let's hold what we've got sort of thing. And I just think it's a little bit against a better team, you'll get caught out.
I think it's too little, too late, and the alarm bells for me were ringing in pre-season, and people are saying it's just about fitness and running around. I thought there's a little more to than that. I didn't see anything. The players came back from the break into pre-season with the same motivation, same nothing really, and I'm like, oh my god, what's going on here? And then players came in and none of them really fitted in, and that's why in this window I'm not excited again. First ever window, I don't really care who we sign because I don't think they're going to make a difference. The situation's more serious. I
don't know if you feel the same as me, Jazz, but it's one of those where if the board are going to give David Moyes the funds to strengthen, then what they're essentially saying is that he's in for the long haul. because they're not going to give him, in my opinion, they're not going to give him whatever they're going to give him, 60 million or whatever, to do business, and then sort of like a couple of weeks later say, down the road, matey. And it's like, well, then the person that's coming in might not then have a budget in what remains of the transfer window. Let's say they come in with sort of a couple of days left of the transfer window. It's like, well, there's no money in the kitty because the guy that we've just sacked has just spent it. Do you know what I mean?
It is. And then obviously we're not professionals. We're not scouts. You've scouted out whatever, Emerson, Kehrer, and not really made a great deal of difference to the squad or the team. So that's 23 million down the pan. Skamaka came as a half decent striker. Yeah, doesn't look fit.
A lot of players have gone backwards.
Yeah. Because he signs players who've done well, and we know why. But when they come to him, he makes them do things that I didn't do last season, and I'm like, that is odd. So you got Paqueta, and then I don't know if he's telling him to just stay next to the CDMs, don't drift off too much, don't dribble too much, don't try to pass and lose it. Just stay steady. So that's not what he's probably done for a lot of the time.
He's confused. It's like, hang on, you're not playing like the
It's just a bit weird, isn't it, mate? Seriously, it is weird.
I mean, he seems to have he's adjusted Paqueta's positioning in the last couple of games. He seems to be just a little bit deeper. He's not playing as the 10 in a 4-2-3-1. It seems that we're trying to sort of incorporate a 3-man central mid, with Declan being a little bit more on the defensive side of things rather than this box-to-box malarkey. I mean, he still has the odd foray forward, but I believe what I've seen is that he's playing more like he does for England, where he's playing as a shield to the back line. Thomas Souček seems to be getting forward a little bit more off of the back of it. Yeah, he's not scored, fine, but he seems to be sort of getting forward a bit. And as I say, Paqueta, I think, is just that little bit deeper, and it's giving him a bit more time on the ball. And with that, I think the last two games, I mean, the Leeds game and the Brentford game, I think have been his best two games in a claret and blue shirt. So hopefully he's starting to get a little bit of confidence. Hopefully he's starting to get a little bit of used to the pace of Premier League football, because obviously, you know, Jazz, you sort of French first division, which is where he's come from, Ligue 1. It's not the same. It's a massive jump in pace, in intensity, and all the rest of it.
Yeah, it takes time. And the only thing with David is, he needs a second formation up his sleeve if he can manage it. Most managers have 3. He's stuck with that 4-2-3-1. And it's just the end for me. It's painful death. And it can't be that many clubs that have sacked managers in January because the window's gone live. You do it before, don't you? And I felt with that World Cup 1 month off, that was a great blessing in disguise, and they didn't make the most of it. I think David went to Florida and nothing happened on the training pitch, and then we found out
he was at the World Cup, wasn't he?
Well, maybe. Maybe.
He was doing. He was on some sort of like, I think it was either for a FIFA or UEFA. He was on some sort of, I don't know if it was a scouting mission or sort of like some sort of administration role for it. It was over FIFA or UEFA. I read it up. He was there for a week or two, and then he sort of like, he's had a bit of a break, and then he's come back. But yeah, I'm the same as you, mate. I personally, I think after the Leicester game, they should have pulled the trigger on him. That's just my opinion. And don't get me wrong. Look, from here on in, you know, I hope that he succeeds. I hope he proves every single one of us wrong. I hope he wins the next remaining, you know, however many games to push us up. Because fundamentally, whether I'm a David Moyes fan or whether I'm not, I'm a West Ham fan primarily. So I want the team to win every single game. And if the byproduct of that is that David Moyes survives for the rest of this season, then so be it. But personally, I think that on the basis of his performances up to the break, he should have gone. He absolutely should have gone.
Yeah, and I think obviously there's things like Warburton apparently came in as an attacking coach, and the board are not too impressed with Warburton in that area anyway. Attacking, haven't hardly scored. Well, certainly from open play, we're getting good few penalties now, but apart from that, nothing's really happening on that side of things. But it is surprising, like you said, if we apparently he was meant to get 5 points from the 3 games around Christmas, and he got 1, I think. And then now they said they're going to give him another 2. And what I was saying, that every 6 games you're going to stumble across a win. You do sometimes. What are you going to do then? You're going to just keep play 6, 1 win, 1 draw, 4 losses, and you keep going on.
It's Avram Grant all over again.
It is. Yeah, it is. And we all know what happened at the end of that season, and that was not a bad team. Had a few good players in there and things. But the difference in that, Avram Grant, and even though they went down, they went heavy in that January loan window. Ended up with 5-6 strikers on loan. Robbie Keane, Mido, all them lot came in, didn't they?
Bar came in then as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. And we didn't have a good clause in there, and obviously showed up to be good. And yeah, I think Newcastle grabbed him. I can't remember now. And then on to other teams. But I don't think David's gonna, because David started again last week. I don't need anyone. I'm happy what I've got. And I'm like, oh my god, here we go again. And then it's going to be a tussle between the owners and him like every window, and we're going to end up with someone he doesn't want very at the end of the window, no time to even gel in and train, and then David's going to say he's not fit, he needs 3 weeks. Then we're into February, March. We've seen it before, haven't we, Gatesy? The same thing,
rinse and repeat.
You know, and the same time we've seen Klopp do this, what he's done every window, get someone in the day it opens. United, I think, just agreed a loan for that Woghurst, 3 million, and thereafter a few others. And Chelsea and Spurs are tussling for Ukrainian winger. Or is it Arsenal in there as well? So people are getting things done early if they can. Bit quiet on the Vlasic thing. His stats, I'm being told, are through the roof. Done really well.
Slower league, though, isn't it? So I think that's a league that is probably going to suit him in fairness to him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. But there's talk that they want to do a little bit of business, and because they've got a fullback, haven't they? That Nigerian fella, Ola Aina.
Okay.
So there could be a swap deal there, but I don't know if you heard, but there's a we let it slip on Forged a day or two ago, and I will stress, for those of you that haven't heard what I'm about to say, I will stress that I am not for 1 minute saying that this is going to happen. What I am saying is that there is someone that works within football that Duke has had contact with, direct contact, and David Moyes is still not given up on getting Jesse Lingard in.
Okay.
Still he, after everything that happened, the summer and the previous sort of year beyond that, David Moyes still hasn't given up on getting Jesse Lingard in. Now, I sort of look at it and go, well, it could be, because I don't think he's really pulled up many trees there, and he's on a big chunk of change. He's only on for the next however many months until the end of the season, isn't he? Because he only signed a 1-year deal. So I'm like, do you know what? It really wouldn't shock me if they came with a mutual termination of the contract.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, don't be shocked. Don't be shocked.
No, that sounds interesting. No, it sounds.
I wouldn't be shocked at all.
No, it sounds plausible, mate. Because I think he's been largely in and out of their team recently, and it's not gone according to plan. That'll be quite funny, mate.
I can't see that Sullivan would sanction it, though. Do you? I think if Moyes went to Sullivan and went, listen, the contract between Nottingham Forest and Lingard's been terminated. He's now a free agent and he wants to come in. I think even Sullivan would be like, no, mate, I can't. Sorry, not happening. I mean, I did a poll on it. Lingard in January, yes or no. I mean, it was overwhelming. Gone. And I can see that, Eamon. It's not a load of bollocks. It really is. It really isn't. Trust me. Duke has had a word with he knows someone that works within football. He's given him some very reliable information. And like I say, we're not saying Lingard is signing. We're not. What we're saying is that David Moyes himself isn't closed on possibly going for him should the situation be right. But whether the people above him will sanction it is an entirely different matter. But it is not bollocks. Trust me.
Well, lots of things have happened in the window, so I can see that happening, funny enough. I can see Forrest thinking about it hasn't worked out, and if there's anyone else in there, what should we do? You know, so I'm not too sure. Hammerhead, hope you're doing all right, mate. Yeah, Lingard and all these players, and what can you say anyway?
You may say that he's been sold a duck, but I don't think he has, Eamon. Because
No, I think it ties into what's going on, isn't it? Ties into what's going on. But all these players you guys are mentioning in the chat, they're all like Skamaka, same stats as him. So what does that say? That's why. What can we say? We want him. He's going to change our team. I don't know. You know, we've gone through 3-4 players who are, either in the German league or French league, similar height to Skamaka. They're banging a goal every 2 games, 35, 40 million. Then it gets the same. And it's just like, I don't know, mate. You know, if they're coming, what's going to be different? They're going to drop Skamaka. They're going to play 2 big boys up front. Danny Ings, not for me, mate. Danny Ings, I think.
Oh, Christ, no.
No,
definitely not. Definitely not. I mean,
but there's a lot of things worrying. Look at Zuma's injury, Cornet's injury, and you know we lost 7-8 players this summer. We're losing the same amount this summer coming up.
A lot of contracts that are running out. I think Ogbona's one. I think Masuaku. I mean, a lot of them are fringe players. A lot of them are. So obviously Ogbonna, I think Masuaku, Randolph, Harrison Ashby. Who else? That's just off the top of my head. There's probably more. But yeah, I mean, we did some major surgery, and it's like we're going to have to do it all over again.
I think one of them was even the third goalkeeper. What's his name? Irish guy. What's his name? Third goalkeeper. Who's that third goalkeeper?
Darren Randolph.
Yeah. He's one of them.
Yeah.
His contract. Yeah. But then Krezi and Fabianski, they got a year extension, have they now? I've been told. So
no, I don't know if Fab's one's been announced or if anything's happened. I mean, that happened last year, didn't it? Around this time, from memory, that they said that he'd agreed an extra year, which is obviously the contract he's now got. Cresswell, I think he's extended to 2025, so he'll go into his testimonial year, wouldn't he? So
yeah, let's just go through these final comments. Passive behaviour, academy.
Just seen that comment from Smeagol saying about David Moyes adopting the Red Bull model. I mean, that's quite laughable because it's like, well, Red Bull is that they'll sign young up and coming talent, coach them up, make them into a sort of like a proper player, sell them on at a profit. Instead, what we do is, we've got the oldest squad or the second oldest squad in the Premier League. It's like, well, that straight away isn't happening, is it?
It was last season. I think us and Leeds were the oldest squad, and then we've gone in. Oh, fair enough. We've gone into the market with lots of mid-20s players and that kind of thing. But yeah, lots of issues, mate. I think what it goes down to, if Moyes gets a sack in a couple of games, it's those windows. He didn't buy anyone, Gatesy. He didn't build upon the good start he got, and he acted very stuck up. Confidence went through the roof. No one could tell me what to do. I don't want anyone. That's it. And then the board, to be fair, were knocking their head against the wall saying, we think we're onto something here. Good. Let's buy. And no, I don't want anyone. I don't want anyone. And then, we missed out on Champions League by 2 points because we didn't have a replacement for Rice when he got injured in those crucial games. Lost out to Europa last season by 1 point on an awful form. That's been 13 months now, league form. And again, he didn't buy anyone. And now he's complaining that too many have come in. What do you want, mate? He's complaining that he's had to buy too many and a lot of them will come in too late in the window and he's not had time to work with them. So our start has been like pre-season. The first 5-6 games, we got struggled a lot, mate. It's just what it is. Cornet's quite unlucky. I didn't really see that happening. I didn't know that's going to happen to Cornet. I didn't know, but I'm not a medical expert or anything like that.
Apparently, it's a really rare thing that he's. I think that is it a surgeon that looked at him to him and said he's only ever seen 2 other people with this issue that he's got.
Well, the thing with Zuma as well was that apparently Sullivan wanted Milenkovic, and Milenkovic was in London to have the medical, and Moyes goes, I don't want him now. I want the other guy. And that's why we were confused when Milenkovic came to London with his agent. We all done our shows. Then we heard the stories, the agent demanding too much. Then he went over to Tottenham, have a chat with them. Then he went back to Italy. No one know what happened. Moyes like, I don't think he ever wanted to join us. I'm not sure about him. Then Zuma became available, agreed a fee with Chelsea. It's weird how it works, isn't it? All these conundrums and things.
Yeah.
And
Hammerhead's just put it in the chat there about Cornet. The doctor had only seen one other case in 25,000 patients. I mean, that is just typical of our luck, isn't it?
But what are we saying is that we can manage it, or it's going to be over for him at some point?
I think he's got to have an op. He's got to go under the knife. So,
which should be, well, that's the end of this season, and isn't it really? And that's the end of a player. I kind of thought he was exciting, okay, making things happen. Nearly got those 2 goals at Chelsea. Can play left wing, 4-4-2 up front. Has played left back before joining Burnley. Can do loads of things. But I'm not going to take up any more of your time. Last question for you, Gatesy. What's going to happen to Moyes, do you think? What do you think? Like,
oh, listen, if they give him money in the transfer window, I think it's almost just a racing certainty that he's in for the foreseeable, mate. So otherwise, why would they give him the transfer window? Why would they give him the dough if they think there's half a chance he could be handed his P45 and shown the door? And then, like I say, if he's spent all of the transfer kitty, the guy that comes in and replaces him, it's like, well, all the money's gone. The previous guy spent it. So it's one of them back you or sack you sort of scenarios, isn't it? If they're going to back you, they're not going to sack you. And if they're not going to back you, they're going to sack you. Do you know what I mean?
It is complicated because especially with being linked with all these people who want to buy the club after April, May. So that's it up in the air. It's probably a guess to say that we're too good to go down again, I suppose, looking at the bottom 3. I don't know if that's what they're thinking, but if it goes the other way, then... But then I'm thinking, mate, the players ain't playing for him. I'm thinking the players ain't playing for him, mate. That's another question, whereas Frankie, fair enough, said that if we win the next 2, but then you look at the next 3 fixtures, Newcastle, Spurs, Chelsea, I think he's got to go, and it's just typical of our club that when we're going to get rid of him, it'll be really odd timing, I think. And who's going to come in and risk their head? Is it going to be Deitch out of a job? Is it going to be him probably coming in? Big Sam style guy coming in? Could
probably. Probably because he's cheap, isn't he? He's out of work.
I think he's got a relationship with the owners, I think. Sullivan.
Owner.
Yeah.
He knows Karen Brady quite well, from what I understand. They're apparently pals, so from what I've been led to believe. So it's it'll probably be Deitch if they do pull the trigger on him. But if they pull the trigger on him 5 minutes after they've given him 60 million to spend in transfer window, you're like, well, what was the fucking point of that?
And we haven't got the players for Deitch. We haven't got, those are not his type of players. They won't. No. It ain't going to work, mate. But everyone in the chat, please subscribe. You want to mention your channel?
No.
Forge from Irons channel. Robert Gates and Dukes.
If you're bored, give it a subscribe. If you're not bored, then don't worry about it. It's fine. It's all good.
Yes, lots of players interviewed, isn't it? Going back to a good few months now.
Yeah, as I say, my favourite one was David Cross. We got a couple that, as I say, I won't sort of name names because I haven't got anything in sort of concrete sort of thing. But there's one ex-player from like the early 2000s, former Hammer of the Year, actually, as it turns out, that we've possibly got in the pipeline, and a player that played for us in the sort of like the early mid-90s as well. And who else? Oh, and a player that from sort of like the 60s and 70s. There's a couple that we've got lined up, but it's just sort of like finalising dates and times, because you know it's like jazz, sort of like, you know, the times that we can do, the times that they can do, it's all got to sort of match up and all the rest of it. So we'll get there.
I think it's quite good the way you two do it anyway. Share the questions, and it's not rushed. They take their time, isn't it?
Yeah, we have a bit of fun with it.
I'm going to put the name of the channel up. Forged from Irons, is it? Irons, isn't it?
Forged from Iron, West Ham United, to give it its full title. But if you put it into a search on YouTube, if you put Forged from, it will probably just pop up from there. So yeah, if anybody hasn't subscribed and they fancy having a look, fine. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it up now, actually.
So what do you reckon? Man United, Charlton, what do you reckon? Frankie was mentioning it earlier.
Oh, I think United should have enough in the end, I would have thought. I think they've got enough. We've got Derby away, which Frankie thinks it's very, very hard. They're doing well in the league. I thought it's hard to concentrate in the cup if you're doing that well in the league. Apparently, they're unbeaten in 16, I think, last 16, something like that.
I didn't realise until someone told me. I thought, bloody hell, that might not be as easy as I thought. But even then, like I say, to be honest, on paper, we should win. Problem is, we play it on grass. Knowing us, we'll cock it up some way, somehow. But you just sit there and you go, the players have got to understand they've got a League One opposition. Whether we put out our reserve team or our full strength team or something in between, they should go out and take care of them, with all due respect to Derby County. And if they win that then puts them one game away from Wembley, because the semi-finals played at Wembley. So if we beat Derby, that will then put us into the quarters. So you're one game from Wembley then. Now, surely that's got to be the way that David Moyes has got to sell it to the players, to try and incentivize it. Come on, lads, get through this lot, which you should, and it's one more game and you play under the arch.
Yeah, that's true. You've got one more subscriber there, mate.
Hey, cheers, Jerry. Appreciate it, mate.
That's my commission. Chilling.
He'll watch a few and he'll go, oh, fuck this, and he'll unsubscribe. They usually do.
I thought it is interesting that happens, but I thought people would just leave it, subscribe, and come back later. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? I know that happens a lot. It's weird, isn't it?
It's sort of, you know,
because you could always switch to notification if you wanted.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. You're a gent.
Jerry's in it, mate. Go.
Good lad. Make sure you get involved in the live chat, mate. Don't sit there meek and mild and quiet at the back of the class. Get involved. We like a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah. Let me know when that's fixed, because I like to take part in those, and I'll put it on the channel as well. So that should be quite good. I think I missed the Cotty one, didn't I? And one more I missed. I was doing something.
Cotty was good. Was good. As I say, who have we done so far? The first one was Stuart Slater. Second one, I think, was Tony Carr.
Yeah, I did Slater, and then I like the Tom McAllister one.
Tom McAllister was good.
Yeah, because he's not.
They were, to be honest, they were all. Yeah. I've enjoyed all of them in different ways, but I think my favourite in terms of what we got out of it, like I say, 3 hours worth. I was like, Christ! But he was just such a funny man, and we were quite lucky. A couple of months later, Duke and I actually had the opportunity to meet him face to face. And he was just as appreciative, just as humble, just as generous with his time as he was on the stream. He was an absolute gentleman.
I just thought of someone who would be really good to come on, but I don't think he does a lot of it. And I've only seen him interviewed once. It's Frank Lampard, isn't it? It's the senior.
Yeah. He did an interview with Ryan, didn't he, from West Ham Fan TV in his pub. Yeah,
I've seen that one, and I've got a feeling, has Russ done his hammers? He's got to be Russ, isn't it? Russ done everyone, isn't he?
I don't think he's done Frank Senior.
Oh.
Don't think so. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think he has, mate.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was assumed he had, but yeah, he's a hard one. Dickens was hard, but he's come on. I think, yeah, Dickens has come on somewhere. I've seen Alan Dickens. But there's one or two that are hard to get hold of, and a few who come on quite a lot. So
yeah,
there's a few we forget, isn't it? Like, where are they and things like that.
Yeah.
But that would be quite good.
I sometimes have to pinch myself when I'm sort of doing it. It's like I'm talking to sort of like a player or whoever that I, used to sort of watch years ago, and now I'm just sitting here having a sort of casual chat over a webcam. Sort of it's weird. So
Yeah, because
I enjoy it.
Yeah, Blackman Game had a chat with I think Tony Gale, Martin Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Allen. I've got history in Reading, Berkshire with him. He was shocked. I knew his parents as well. We didn't know. And told him all the old names. He's like, my goodness, sat next to me, had a chat with him. Tony Gale. Funny thing, Tony's like, oh, he goes, Jazz, I really appreciate you having a chat with him. I thought, oh my God, it should be the other way around. Because I don't think a lot of people have knowledge from that era, like mid-'80s. So a lot of people, wherever Tony is in those boxes, they don't talk to him, the youngsters. They don't know him. So people of our age, we go up to him, you appreciate it. It's nice that he goes, I appreciate people coming up, talking to me and that. So,
I met him in December, actually. They had a player event at London Bridge, Tower Bridge, that sort of direction.
Yeah.
And I was actually quite fortunate because we ended up, after this sort of player event, it was like the 30th anniversary of the 92-93 promotion season. So they got pretty much the whole squad, pretty much. And I'll tell you who really surprised me from that, David Speedy.
What
I've got to watch fucker he was.
I've got to watch that video you put up. I've got to watch that. Yeah. In a pub, there's something you put in.
It was in the bar of the hotel that we was at. It was the Hilton in right opposite London Bridge railway station.
He got a lot of stick when he played for us, but you won him over with that promotion goal. I think the first goal in that game, Cambridge, was it? I can't remember.
Yep, that's it.
I never expected him to join West Ham because Chelsea, West Ham, proper rivalry back then. He played with Kerry Dixon, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Kerry said no to John Lyall, said, I can't. And then the other story before we go is that when Luton and Chelsea played in the FA Cup final, Luton knocked us out. So David Pleat said he played Dixon up front and he deliberately didn't want to score against Chelsea and he let him down. He's like, oh my God. So you get all that.
Should have left him on the bench.
Yeah. Good to see you.
They could have gone out later that night and done a bit of curb crawling because old Pleaty liked a bit of that allegedly.
I heard him on a podcast with John Motson, and he's like, "No, it wasn't like that." So he's quite upset. He's quite upset.
He got caught twice for Christ's sakes. It's like once you could turn around as a mistake, but twice.
I didn't know. I thought it's just like an affair, and that was the end.
No, he got done for curb crawling. Allegedly.
Mate. Oh mate.
Actually, I say allegedly. I think that's out there. I think that's a fact, but I'll have to insert the word allegedly just in case.
Him and Bill Clinton in the back and one or two others.
Prince Andrew.
The driver.
Yeah, Oh, Christ.
Thanks for watching, Andrew, mate. Oh, my God. We used to get these giggles live, didn't we? I couldn't stop them. Bloody hell. I nearly gave
Unbelievable. Ben Brereton Diaz. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, send me a private message, Italy Jet. We'll do something, mate. No problem.
All right, mate. No,
Take care.
Prince Andrew was fire. Naughty. Look after yourself, mate. I'll speak to you later.
Yeah, we'll catch up soon. Take care, mate.
And like the stream. Take care, guys.
Brilliant. Take care. Bye.